What's up, everybody?
Just scared everybody who's watching. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a video more along the financial realm of things because it's been a while since I've done something like that other than my monthly budget videos. But today we're going to talk about kind of where our money ideologies came from. I will preface this by saying we were both raised very differently when it came to ideas surrounding money and finances and like debt and credit. So we're gonna each individually talk about that and how that shaped us and then kind of where we're at now in our adulthood, basically. So I'll go ahead and start. When I was growing up, I came from, I would say, a lower middle class family. My mom was a single mother raising 3 children. She worked 2 jobs a lot of the time from what I can remember up through even like my high school years. The topic of money was never really discussed in my family. So as far as I knew as a child and like into my teenhood, money wasn't really tight. We had everything that we needed. We had most of what we wanted as a family, and like my sisters and I, money just wasn't talked about. It was expected that I was going to go to college, whether I get scholarships or had to take out student loans. It was just an expectation. That stemmed from the fact that nobody else in my family had ever gone to college. I myself at the time wanted to go to college, so that wasn't a problem. It's not like it was being forced on me in a negative way. But when I turned 18, I opened my first credit card, and of course, being my newly 18-year-old self, I did that many times. So I opened up a lot of credit cards. I didn't really get like deep into debt with them, but just the fact that I didn't have a negative like feeling about credit cards. To me, credit cards were, 1, a way to build your credit, which is true in a sense, but 2, I didn't see anything bad about them. I had been working since I was 16, and so I always had a stream of income coming in. When I was 18, I graduated high school and started working as a pharmacy technician, which in my town, I was making some pretty decent money. And I was living on my own, so outside of my parents' house at that time. So I was paying all my own bills, kind of just buying what I wanted, and I would worry about paying the bill later. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. It didn't seem detrimental to me. It was never pounded into my head that credit cards are bad and you should pay cash or anything like that. Funny thing is, I actually got my degree in accounting, and so I was really good with numbers and budgeting, but I didn't use that on myself. Fast forward, I went through college and all of that, and my money situation and the way that I thought about money didn't change really until I met him. At one point I lost my job and I was going through a lot of health issues, which I just did a video on my autoimmune disorder that I can link here. And all of a sudden I had to learn how to budget and how to like live on very little income. And like shortly after that, we moved in together, and you'll see in a second, his ideologies were completely opposite of mine and the things that were pounded into his head growing up. And so we kind of had a clash of vision and finances, but I'll let him talk about that.
My dad is a very, very good saver. Very big on saving, very, very good with money. My entire upbringing was pretty much money. You use it to buy stuff, you know, unless you're working a job or it's not easy to come by money. My dad was definitely not the type to hand stuff out, and due to that fact, you know, you had to pick up the value of money. It was definitely more, you know, money is for saving. I guess my kind of thought process when it comes to money has always been that of, putting this into an analogy only I'm going to, well, you might get it, kind of like, you know, the gamer ideology, where it's like when I play video games and there's a really strong weapon with very limited ammo, I'm the type to pick up that ammo and be like, well, I better save this for a time when I really, really, really need it. And then I get to the end of the game, hit the end credits, and realize I never used that weapon because I was afraid of losing the ammo for it. So I stockpile money, never spend it, and it's like on the rare occasion when I do, it's on something that, you know, I'm gonna research, I'm gonna go deep dive into it. It's gonna be, you know, one of the best things I could possibly get in whatever category it is.
Typically electronics.
That way, I don't have to spend any money on it again for a long, long time. That's always been my thing, is I don't spend a lot of money on myself. Like I said, when I do, it's, you know, relatively larger amounts. You know, it's always been saving with me and trying not to spend on stuff that I don't need.
As you can see, like very opposite ends of the spectrum. So when we got married and like combined accounts, we never really butt heads.
No.
Like we just had very different ideas on spending. And I was and still am the one that does the budget and like manages all the in and out of our money.
I'm not gonna argue with the lady with the degree in accounting.
I also brought in more debt into the relationship. And then we both went to college and had student loans, and so that added to things. I didn't bring our ideas on college have changed since how I previously felt at the beginning of this
I wasn't
video.
very warm on college to start with.
Well, that's another video.
Or 3.
He's more of like the tightwad, and I'm more of like the free spender. And so his ideologies have started to wear on me, especially these past few years when we've been really budgeting.
I mean, we both kind of rubbed off on each other a bit, where, you know, just kind of, you know, that whole mentality of, can't take it with you once you're gone. So it's like, yeah, on one hand, yeah, but I've definitely rubbed off on her more so.
And I don't know how I like that. So, like, just for example, if you've been around a little while, you know that we budget every month and everything. I do the budget and I pay all the bills. Like, we do sit down and he's completely aware of our financial situation at any given moment. I have YNAB up and open on the computer at any given time. It's not like there's like nothing hidden.
And typically anytime she's buying anything that's not a necessity, she usually runs it past me.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's something that I've kind of always done, because I mean, it's not just especially now I feel more so that way because now he's the only one working. And so I feel very badly spending money. But anyway, even things we need, I'll text him and I'm just like, I know we need this, but I really don't want to spend the money. It hits me somewhere like deep. I don't want to spend the money even though it's something we need. And so that's where his ideas have like worn off on me. Like, we really think about things before we buy them for the most part. My splurging would be like the Target Dollar Spot or Dollar Tree. Like those things I don't run by him necessarily.
So pretty much our focuses have changed to now, you know, we're trying to dig ourselves out of debt, because the big thing for us was moving to Kentucky put us a decent bit into credit card debt.
Yes.
Because, you know, you had to buy a couple of things that we weren't expecting, bought a couple of things that definitely weren't necessities at the time. You know, once we kind of backed off, you know, a month or two after the fact and really looked at where we were sitting, you know, we weren't happy with it, and, you know, decided that, you know, leaning more her way on the thing just wasn't working for us, so we needed to bring things back this way. And now that we are doing all things considered with our income and whatnot, doing a very good job, I think, of pulling ourselves out of debt. We have no more credit card debt.
Don't get me wrong, we still have debt. We still have an auto loan that has a few grand on it, and then we have student loans, which to me are a whole other category that like doesn't even count right now. But when we got out of credit card debt, we kind of made that vow that we do still use our credit card. Yes. So that's one way that we go against like Dave Ramsey's beliefs, but we pay it off every month. Absolutely. Every single month we pay it off. And since we've gotten credit card debt free, we've never had a problem doing that. That's
always that, you know, going back to the way I was raised, that was one of my dad's biggest things, is that you never buy anything on a credit card that you can't afford to pay off. For me, it was always buy it, and then sometimes I'd even go straight home and put the money and pay it online.
Yeah.
And then if I bought any big ticket items, that was something where I would make sure that I had the money in my account just in case something happened and I lost my job or something like that. I could pay it off immediately.
The only exception we make to that is sometimes high-ticket electronic items, and we usually get them from Best Buy, 0% interest. You can roll your eyes at us, but we always pay it off before interest kicks in.
So once we paid off the credit cards, you know, we're loosening things up a little bit, not a ton, but just enough so that, you know, you can take a little bit of an inhale.
And yeah, kind of enjoying the things we've missed out on in some aspect. For us, that might look differently than what other people would be doing. Like, we still don't go out to eat.
So at this point, I think I've pretty much changed her thought process on money and spending, seeing as it's become a physical thing for her at this point.
It like makes me nauseous and anxious when I have to spend money. Tomorrow I go in for some dental work that I've known is coming and I know how much it's gonna cost, and like I just don't even wanna go even though there's a risk of my tooth breaking.
That's where we're at, and we're hoping to kind of stay on that track. And like I said, as we pay off our car and start making little itty bitty tiny dents into the student loans, you know, if we ever do get those student loans paid off, we can start focusing on the future. Yeah. Being able to save, invest some money, you know, start really planning for our financial future.
Take a vacation. So that's kind of just how our past ideologies and our upbringing shaped us and how he has reshaped me financially. I would love to hear kind of where you came from and if your ideologies have changed over the years, and as you like entered adulthood, how that affected you. Drop me a comment down below. Love to get that discussion started because I'm curious. I know everybody has such different where they start and where they are now. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we will see you later. Bye.